votes are in, the community has spoken. Today's PC was a Discord community pick. Every week I post pictures of PCs in the Discord and I let them pick what they want to see. If you want to have say in future videos, go ahead and join the Discord. It's 100% free. I don't charge like some of these other channels do. I think it's kind of stupid that they do. I can't wait to show you guys what we're working with today. Let's freaking get into it. Alright you guys, so this is our PC in question. Now, at first glance, it does look like just a standard desktop PC, and this is an HP Envy. Not really sure when this thing launched, but to me it looks cool. However, if you go to the front here, you'll see we have a Powered by EVGA sticker or logo going on here. So I'm kind of curious what is in this thing that's going to be EVGA. Pretty cool. The awesome thing about this system is it does in fact have a GPU. For once, I get a system that has a GPU, and it is a 2-slot card, so I'm hoping this thing's kind of beefy. Going to our rear fan here, this thing is absolutely, it's cram-packed full of just nasty dust and debris. It does look like, however, we have an upgraded power supply, and it looks relatively clean. Well, there's a little bit of dust, but nothing too crazy. Going to our back here, we do have an EVGA sticker. Not sure if this was consumer added or if that came from the manufacturer. But super cool PC. We're going to go ahead, we're going to get this thing hooked up and see if we can get a picture on the screen. Alright you guys, so we got this thing all hooked up. I'm hoping and praying that this thing actually turns on. We're going to go ahead, we're going to see if we get some picture on the screen and see if we can get some specs. Fingers crossed. Okay, so we do have power, but we are immediately met with a horrible noise. Sounds like our fan is rubbing on something. However, we do have picture on the screen. Looks like we're dealing with 8 gigs of DDR3, and I did not see what CPU that was, so we're going to go ahead, we're going to get into the BIOS real quick. Alright, so I want to do this quick. I don't know what that noise is, and I don't want to cause any damage, so it does look like we're dealing with an i7-4770 CPU. That's definitely not a bad CPU at all. And then, again, the 8 gigs of DDR3, 1600 megahertz. Looks like it's running in single channel, so definitely not bad. We're going to go ahead, get this thing powered off, and see what's making that horrible noise. Let's get this thing laid down on the operating table. Alright you guys, so we got this thing laid out on the operating table. Let's go ahead, let's pull this panel off and see what we got going on the inside. Alright, so with our front panel off, we can see that there's some absolute carnage going on the inside of this thing. This thing it's absolutely freaking disgusting. There is so much dust, dirt, and debris in here that's just nasty. However, we do have a GTX 770 GPU. Not freaking bad at all. And then we do have our single stick of RAM here. We do also have some nasty trash on the inside. And then we have this guy just chilling. I'm glad that when I powered this thing on, it didn't make contact with our motherboard. That could have definitely turned this video into a shit show for sure. So when it comes to our GPU here, this thing launched all the way back in 2013, so it's definitely dated. And judging by the sticker that I see on the back here, this is a 2 gig model. This is a GDDR5 card, and would definitely have been considered high-end back in the day. So when it comes to our CPU, this thing launched all the way back in 2013 as well, so it's definitely quite dated. It had a TDP of right around 80 to 90 watts. Definitely not half bad. It did boost all the way to 3.9, but its base clock speed was right around 3.3, 3.4. This CPU was built on the Haswell architecture. Honestly, one of my all-time favorites. I bet this CPU can absolutely handle modern titles. In fact, I think that our GTX 770 here is probably going to be the bottleneck, but we're going to test this thing how it is. We're going to try all kinds of fun games and see what kind of performance we can get out of this old gal. Aside from that, we have a 750 watt Corsair PSU. Definitely not bad. It is quite dusty, so it's going to need a nice good clean. And then last but not least, this thing does in fact have Wi-Fi, so that's pretty cool. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to start tearing this thing apart and see what kind of critters might live inside this thing. Alright, so with our GPU out, this thing, you can see, this thing is actually, it's in really good shape. It looks absolutely fantastic. We even still have the peeling on our plates here. Freaking awesome. I can't wait to peel those off. Let's go ahead and set this off aside and keep on going. Alright, so with our motherboard out, we can see that this poor cooler is just, it's completely plugged up. We've also got a crap ton of just nasty dust, dirt, debris. We got shit all over the place on this poor thing. So we're going to go ahead, set this off to the side. Off camera, I'm going to go ahead and pull the rest of the components out of this case, and then we'll take a look at everything. Alright, you guys, so I got this thing all apart, and holy shit, this thing is absolutely freaking disgusting. There is just... This thing was absolutely 100% neglected. I feel so bad for this poor girl. Just look at all this carnage. Look at this fan. It's just nasty. Look in the case. Like, why? Why do people let this happen to their electronics? It just... This acts as insulation. It will literally kill your system. It holds in all the heat. Like, come on, people. Everything here is just absolutely disgusting, with the exception of our PSU and our GPU. I'm not sure why the GPU is in such good condition. There's not a whole lot of dust in it. In fact, I'm going to have to barely do any cleaning on that at all. Same for our power supply. What I'm thinking is that they upgraded this PC without cleaning it. They added the PSU, they added the graphics card. I mean, it could have come with the system, but I don't know. All I know is that this thing, it's just absolutely horrendous. I did pull a couple live spiders out of here as well. Just completely disgusting. So, off camera, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to give all this stuff one hell of a clean. Get it all back together, and then we will try and repost it. Alright, you guys, so we got this thing all back together, and it looks good, but I'm honestly not a big fan of the case. But going from what it was to what it is now, it's a huge improvement. This thing, it does look much, much better. There's definitely some blemishes here and there on the metal that, unfortunately, I can't get rid of, but not a big deal. We also did some cable management. Looks so much better. Although, with this case, there's not really a lot you can do for the cable management, but it's definitely better than it was before. So, we're going to go ahead, we're going to see if this thing will power on, load in our operating system, which I do have installed on an SSD here, and then we will go ahead and start testing a slew of games on this thing and see what kind of games this 770 can run. I know that this i7 can definitely run modern titles. In fact, I've done video on this one before, and I'm pretty sure that this one ran Starfield. So, again, this GPU is definitely going to be our bottleneck here. But without further ado, let's go ahead, let's power this thing on and see if it loads into our operating system. Alright, so we do got power. Our fans are spinning up. And immediately we have a picture on the screen. Let's see if we can get into our operating system. And there you have it, loading into our OS. When I come back, I will have a slew of games installed, and we will see what this thing can do. Alright, so first up we have a game called Vane. This is a zombie survival apocalypse style game. Super cool. It's actually a free demo on Steam right now. If you haven't heard of it, you should definitely check it out. I love playing this game. It's a very fun one, but it can also be quite demanding. Our GPU is chilling right around 74C. That's a little bit toasty. Not really comfortable with that. I'm thinking maybe it might need a repaste. But we do have between 70 and 100% utilization, so not too shabby. We are drawing right around 150 watts. Our CPU is chilling right around 50C at about 30% utilization. And we're getting right around 40 FPS. It is running relatively smooth. We have some lagging and hitching here and there, but nothing that would inhibit your ability to play this game. I would say that this one's 100% playable. We're going to go ahead and move on to the next game. Alright, so next up we have BeamNG Drive. Anybody who knows, you know. This game, it can absolutely be demanding, especially on an older system like this. I'm playing at all medium and low settings, and we're getting a comfortable 40 to 50 FPS. It's not running too bad. Our GPU's chilling right around 70C with 100% utilization, and it's drawing right around 150 watts. Our CPU's chilling right around between 55 and 60C, and then we're getting about 20% utilization, and it's drawing right around 40 watts. So definitely a playable experience, not too shabby at all. I'm going to say that this one is also a win, except for that. Totally just screwed my car. But with that being said, we'll go ahead and we will move on to the next game. Alright, so next up we have a game called Sons of the Forest. This can definitely be an absolutely demanding game, and if you've been watching the channel for a while, you'll know that I love testing this game. This will really tell you where you're at with your system. Honestly, I'm pretty impressed that this 770 is running it as good as it is. I'm getting no lagging, no hitching, no issues whatsoever. We are running at all low settings. Despite our low settings, we're still running right around 75C on our GPU, which, again, that's getting pretty warm. We do have 100% utilization with nearly 170 watt power draw. Our CPU is right around 55 to 60C with about 40% utilization, and then it's drawing about 40 watts. But we are getting around 46 to 50 FPS. It's holding steady. Definitely a playable experience, and the game still looks absolutely fantastic. Definitely a win. We'll go ahead and move on to our next game. Alright, so next up we have Assetto Corsa. Right off the bat, we are getting a steady 100 FPS. It is running absolutely fantastic. No lagging, no hitching, no issues at all. Our GPU is chilling right around 60C at the moment. We're getting about 100% utilization. Our CPU is chilling right around 50C with about 15 to 20% utilization. Not bad. It's drawing right around 32 watts, and we're getting about 160 watt power draw on our GPU. The game is definitely running, again, absolutely fantastic. We're dipping into the 120s, nearly 130s at this point. Absolutely playable, 100% a win. We'll go ahead and move on to our last game. Alright, you guys, last but not least, we have Body Cam. Honestly, this is probably one of the most visually appealing games on the market for a shoot-'em-up game. It's just, this game looks so phenomenal. However, we are running at 720p at all low settings. That was the only way that I could get this game to run at a steady FPS. So right now, we're chilling right around 40 FPS, running absolutely perfect. It's absolutely competitive. You can definitely win some matches if you know what you're doing. Our GPU's chilling right around 70C. We're getting around 100% utilization with about 130 watt power draw. So that's not too bad. Our CPU's chilling right around 55C with 50% utilization. I would definitely call this one a win. You can absolutely run this game on a 770. Absolutely insane. What a phenomenal little build. This is definitely a phenomenal little build. It actually performed way above what I was expecting. However, that GPU definitely bottlenecks our CPU in terms of being able to run certain DX12 games. There were several games that just, they would not launch. Games like Starfield, Dune Awakening, and so many more. Definitely broke my heart. I wish I could have tested some more AAA titles like that, but I'm happy with the games that it ran, and for an entry-level system, it's definitely not bad. I hope you guys enjoy the video. Until next time, I'll catch you in the next one. Stay freaking safe in the world.